Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the U.S. Capitol building. If you've joined us today for the Insurrection, please make sure you pick up a promotional leaflet on the way in, stay inside the safety cordons at all times, and if you get lost, speak to one of our Capitol police officers. They'll be sure to point you in the right direction. And be sure to set aside a little time today to join us for some Insurrection activities, including our photography tour, our fancy dress competition, and have a go on our climbing wall. But don't forget those safety ropes. And I've now received the results of our fancy dress competition. The winner today is Jacob Chansley. That's Mr. Jacob Chansley. If you could report to your nearest Capitol police officer, they'll be sure to give you your prize, a guided tour of the building. And all that's left is for me to thank you for joining us today. We hope you enjoyed the Insurrection. Wherever possible, please try to clean up after yourselves. Don't forget to visit the souvenir shop on the way out, and feel free to join us on the outdoor terrace for Nancy Pelosi's Insurrection Soiree. Grab yourself a light refreshment and enjoy the music of our very own fancy dress competition winner.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome into CobraCast 199. Happy January 6th, Insurrection Day, ladies and gentlemen. Also the day that will forever be known as the day that Canada was made great again, because Justin Trudeau has officially resigned as Prime Minister of Canada, also known as the day that cackling Kamala, heels up Harris, has to certify the historic election of one Donald J. Trump as the 47th President of the United States of America. Let's go! Let's go!
Come to order.
Fired up, baby!
Mr. Speaker, the Vice President and the United States Senate.
What's up, Blue Shell? Booming Bob, Nandy, thank you for the super chats, guys. I'll get to all of them. All right, well, while they're clapping and patting each other on the back. So, yes, earlier today, Justin Trudeau announced his resignation. He has not officially resigned as prime minister, like in terms of like he's still in the position, but he will be resigning as prime minister of the 51st state of the United States of America, Canada. Here's heels up, Harris. Wipe your mouth, Harris. Don't leave anything on the mouth. This is supposed to be her day. This is supposed to be your day. You deserve this. What's she doing there? She has to certify President Trump's 47th presidency today. This is great. Happy January 6th, Dom. Thank you for the gifted memberships, buddy. This is so glorious to watch. Everybody's so excited in the chat. She's like 5'4" and Mike Johnson is short. Somebody in the chat said that. What's happening? Just got here. This is the certification of the 2024 election results. The sitting vice president has to certify. So Kamala Harris will be certifying the presidency of Donald J. Trump today. Harris and Johnson look entirely too cozy. Well, I think she's trying to put on as happy of a face as she possibly can. But we all know she's miserable right now. Yeah, I know. I'd like to hear their conversation too. What's up, Warbreer? Aberjam. Smash the melee button. By the way, while we're waiting for these clowns, tonight on Locals, we are going to be doing a live watch party of WWE Monday Night Raw. I still sometimes call it WWF. WWE Monday Night Raw on Netflix, live watch party over on Locals for our local supporters. Cannot wait. That's tonight. So if you have not, please make sure you go and support us over there. You will enjoy it. And we're going to start doing that every Monday. The gaming stream moves from Mondays to Wednesdays. So that's a programming note right there. And we also have the RSVP for the Orlando meetup. Mods will be dropping that link here soon. And you guys can RSVP for the Orlando meetup in February. MegaCon, Universal Orlando. It's going to be great. Cannot wait for that. What time is the watch party? Mountain time? Nobody gives a damn about Mountain time. Nobody even acknowledges Mountain time. So no one cares. Blue Shell says, for being early and 6'3", 215. Thank you, Blue Shell. Appreciate that. Gerald Armstrong says, happy Insurrection Day, Jeremy. Thank you. I appreciate that. Happy Insurrection Day. Zinni Biscuit says, happy Epiphany Day, y'all. I see Canada got a very special gift today. God bless everyone. Canada did get a special gift. Nandy says, want a close-up of Cum Squatch when she certifies the election. Boom and Bob says, happy Snake Eyes Day, Jeremy. Glossy Cross says, don't forget, Jeremy, this year will be 10 years since Trump announced his run for president. Man, it's been a hell of a decade, hasn't it? Dom H with 5 gifted memberships. Thank you. Sloppy Joe says, leftist attacking me a lot on X. That sounds like a normal day. Darth Corn Pop says, remember, Jeremy, January 6th was literally worse than 9/11 and Pearl Harbor combined. Oh, you should hear what The View has to say right now. And I'll play that here in a bit. The View already going off the rails about January 6th today. Let's see. I got that one. Aberjam says, Harrison Johnson. I got that one. Warbird says, I thought we were here to certify your gayness for another 4 years. Legendary Scrub says, what time? Oh, I got that one. Tired Retro Gamer says, this whole thing is a lesson in persistence and patience. Absolutely. Grabthar's Hammer for $20.03 on Locals. Says, I'll miss the watch party tonight, but I look forward to meeting the whole basket of figs at MegaCon meetup. Even have a gift for the furry croc wearing no eyebrow having leader of it all. Hell yeah, man. I'm looking forward to meeting you there. Sorry you can't make it for the watch party tonight. It is going to be awesome. So I can't wait, man. It's gonna be one of the biggest events in a long time. So what's up, Adrian Curry in the house? We're currently looking at 2 of the most unpopular people in all of politics, which says a lot because very few politicians have any support. But these are 2 of the most unpopular people in all of politics. Cultural Breakdown says there's so much freedom going on in the U.S. It's even spilling over into Canada. Do you guys think, here's, I'm not asking what you want. I'm asking, do you believe that Canada is going to become the 51st state? Will Canada, not do you think it will, or not do you want it, but do you believe it will become the 51st state? And before you answer, you need to we have to acknowledge that Donald Trump is the person involved in this. Will Canada become the 51st state? Yes or no? I don't think so, but I also don't know if I'm going to doubt Donald Trump. Kevin O'Leary's talking about an economic union of sorts. But yeah, Greenland will be the 51st. Trump was kidding, I think. I don't think he's kidding, dude. I don't think Trump's kidding. I really don't. This is Donald Trump we're talking about. Yeah, I don't think he's kidding. Although I think Kevin O'Leary said it best, where Kevin O'Leary essentially said Trump tends to put these crazy ideas out there just so he can get the negotiation started, and then somewhere in the middle is where everything lines up. But yeah, man. The bottom line is I'm not sure a lot of this would be happening. Well, no, I'm not. I know for a fact a lot of this wouldn't be happening if Trump didn't win. But I think I think that there's more of a possibility of Canada becoming the 51st state than a lot of people think. Nobody cares. You have no power.
House come to order.
Drunk as hell. Drunk as hell.
Mr. Speaker and members of Congress, pursuant to the Constitution and laws of the United States, the Senate and House of Representatives are meeting in joint session to verify the certificates and count the votes of the electors of the several states for President and Vice President of the United States. After ascertainment has been had that the certificates are authentic and correct in form, the tellers will count and make a list of the votes cast by the electors of the several states. The tellers on the part of the two houses will take their places at the clerk's desk.
She has no aura about her at all. None. She has zero command of the room. She has zero charisma. Nobody cares. She has zero.
Objection. Without objection, the tellers will dispense with reading formal portions of the certificates. After ascertaining that the certificates are regular in form and authentic, the tellers will announce the votes cast by the electors for each state, beginning with Alabama. Senator Fisher.
Madam President, the certificate of the electoral vote of the state of Alabama seems to be regular in form and authentic, and it appears therefrom that Donald J. Trump of the state of Florida received 9 votes for president, and J.D. Vance of the state of Ohio received 9 votes for vice president.
Madam President, the certificate of the electoral vote of the state of Alaska seems to be regular in form and authentic, and it appears therefrom that Donald J. Trump of the state of Florida received 3 votes for president, and J.D. Vance of the state of Ohio received 3 votes for vice president.
If the volume's a little low, it's as much as I can do. JMNZZ4 100 MAGA
Madam
red.
President, the certificate of the electoral vote of the state of Arizona seems to be regular in form and authentic, and it appears therefrom that Donald J. Trump of the state of Florida received 11 votes for president, and J.D. Vance of the state of Ohio received 11 votes for vice president.
Madam President, the certificate of the electoral vote of the state of Arkansas seems to be regular in form and authentic, and it appears therefrom that Donald J. Trump of the state of Florida received 6 votes for president, and J.D. Vance of the state of Ohio received 6 votes for vice president.
Madam President, the certificate of the electoral vote of the state of California seems to be regular in form and authentic, and it appears therefrom that Kamala D. Harris of the state of California received 54 votes for president, and Tim Walz of the state of Minnesota received 54 votes for vice president.
I think I can get a better feed with better audio if you guys give me just a second here. I think I can. I think this feed's going to be better on.
4 votes for vice president.
Is that better? Let me know if that's better.
Madam President, the certificate of the electoral vote of the state of Colorado seems to be regular in form and authentic, and it appears therefrom that Kamala D. Harris of the state of California received 10 votes for president, and Tim Walz of the state of Minnesota received 10 votes for vice president.
Madam President, the certificate of the electoral vote of the state of Connecticut seems to be regular in form and authentic, and it appears therefrom that Kamala D. Harris of the state of California received 7 votes for president, and Tim Walz of the state of Minnesota received 7 votes for vice president.
Madam President, the certificate of the electoral vote of the state of Delaware seems to be regular in form and authentic, and it appears therefrom that Kamala D. Harris of the state of California received 3 votes for president, and Tim Walz of the state of Minnesota received 3 votes for vice president.
Madam President, the certificate of the electoral vote of the District of Columbia seems to be irregular in form and authentic, and it appears therefrom that Kamala D. Harris of the state of California received 3 votes for president, and Tim Walz of the state of Minnesota received 3 votes for vice president.
Madam President, the certificate of the electoral vote of the state of Florida seems to be regular in form and authentic, and it appears therefrom that Donald J. Trump of the state of Florida received 30 votes for president, and J.D. Vance of the state of Ohio received 30 votes for vice president.
Madam President, the certificate of the electoral vote of the state of Georgia seems to be regular in form and authentic, and it appears therefrom that Donald J. Trump of the state of Florida received 16 votes for president, and J.D. Vance of the state of Ohio received 16 votes for vice president.
Madam President, the certificate of the electoral vote of the state of Hawaii seems to be regular in form and authentic, and it appears therefrom that Kamala Harris of the state of California received 4 votes for president, and Tim Walz of the state of Minnesota received 4 votes for vice president.
Madam President, the certificate of the electoral vote of the state of Idaho seems to be regular in form and authentic, and it appears therefrom that Donald J. Trump of the state of Florida received 4 votes for president, and J.D. Vance of the state of Ohio received 4 votes for vice president.
Madam President, the certificate of the electoral vote of the state of Illinois seems to be regular in form and authentic, and it appears therefrom that Kamala Harris of the state of California received 19 votes for president, and Tim Walz of the state of Minnesota received 19 votes for vice president.
I'll probably really this is just a formality until we get to it. So if you guys want to just listen to these clowns, we can do that. Or if you want me to talk, we can do that.
Seems to be regular in form and authentic, and it appears therefrom that Donald J. Trump of the state of Florida received 11 votes for president, and J.D. Vance of the state of Ohio received 11 votes for vice president.
Madam President, the certificate of the electoral vote of the state of Iowa seems to be regular in form and authentic, and it appears there.
All right, you want me to talk? All right. So we are currently watching the certification of President Trump as the 47th president of the United States of America. And of course, it is on January 6th. A lot has happened. We've got Justin Trudeau, who is resigning as the Prime Minister of Canada. We've got a national holiday in January 6th. We've also got the View melting down like crazy. There's so many wins going on right now that I can't even keep up with everything. I don't know if you guys have been following what's going on in sports media right now, but the woke sports media is collapsing right before our very eyes. There's this massive scandal going on right now with a bunch of people that have TDS and have been pushing identity politics. And now sports media is absolutely collapsing right before our very eyes. It's crazy. And the memes have been glorious, and it's all centered around Joy Taylor, who's a Fox Sports 1, news anchor who's always been preaching about how tough it is to be a woman and how women don't have to put up with men's bullshit and all of that. And it turned out she was fucking everybody at the network in order to get a job. Everybody. And then you got other woke NFL players that were pushing all this identity politics. They had all these videos of her praising her to how great she was. And they've deleted some of those videos because they were plowing her. It's absolutely amazing. It's the greatest thing I've ever seen in my life. Then you got some woman accusing Skip Bayless of trying to rape her for and accusing him of wanting to pay her $1.5 million to sleep with her. It's the craziest shit I've ever seen in my life. It's amazing. So yeah, everything's collapsing right now. Hollywood's collapsing. Woke sports media is collapsing. Donald Trump is being certified as the 47th president of the United States of America. Justin Trudeau has resigned. Everything is amazing right now. AB did make an X post about it.
Madam
Yes.
President, the certificate of the electoral vote of the state of Maryland seems to be regular in form and authentic, and it appears therefrom that Kamala Harris of the state of...
Yeah, okay, shut up. And then you had Gerard Mayo get fired. I want to show you this real quick. This is the head coach for the New England Patriots last year when he got hired. Listen to what he had to say a year ago.
I do see color because I believe if you don't see color, you can't see racism. And whatever happens, black, white, disabled person, I've always, even someone with disabilities, I always, for the most part, people are like, when they're young, they kind of make the spot hot. Younger people know what that means. But what I would say is, no, I want you to be able to go up to those people and really understand those people.
So he got fired after his first season. So one season in, and Gerard Mayo fired after his first press conference. He made it about racism, and now he's been fired after 1 year. Everything woke turns to shit, and it's happening right before our very eyes, and I love it.
Received 15 votes for vice president. Madam President, the certificate of the electoral vote of the state of Minnesota seems to be regular in form and authentic, and it appears therefrom that Kamala D. Harris of the state of California received 10 votes for president, and Tim Walz of the state of Minnesota received 10 votes.
All right, so they're still yapping. So I want to show you this right here. Emmanuel Acho, he's one of the guys. He's a former player. He's one of the guys that was part of Fox Sports 1 that's named in the lawsuit surrounding him banging Joy Taylor. He deleted this video. All right. He deleted this he deleted this video after the lawsuit dropped.
Just got done with rehearsal for the new show Speak, and I got to take a moment to shout out my co-host Joy Taylor. A woman, a black woman, daily show, sports. Do you all realize how hard it is to get into the position that she is in? So often there's misogyny and sexism running rampant in sports, and we don't even care what women have to say in sports. But Joy is not only in the position on television as a woman, as a black woman, but as an opinionist. So not just asking men what they think, but providing her own unique and distinct insight. It's hard to do, and Joy, you have done it. So congratulations. Looking forward to working with you, and hope y'all tune in 4:30 to 6 Eastern every day starting next week.
So that happened. Okay. Skip Bayless, somebody uploaded this, and it says, when your coworker smashing that fine shit at work, it curved you. All right, but it gets better, okay? And we're going to talk about, look, we're going to go back to certification and everything like that, okay? But the greatest thing I think I've ever seen is if you go over to Joy Taylor's Twitter account, okay, right here, her most recent tweet from January 2nd has been ratioed like crazy, okay? So you go to the replies. So this is Joy Taylor, the identity politics DEI hire from Fox Sports 1 that claimed that men are holding women back, and apparently she was sleeping with everybody, including the executives, to get ahead at her job. So you go to the replies, and the replies are just absolutely insane. Like, it is crazy. Listen.
Constantly reaffirm, wake up call, same time. How would I not know how hard it is to do the show I work on? You have to constantly reaffirm that you are good enough, that you belong there, and then always prove it. So I would just always say you got to do twice the work to get half the opportunity. But that, to me, the mentality I've always had on it is that's just going to make me better. So that's why I'm excellent. Because I had to be. I couldn't be average. I couldn't be okay. I couldn't be late. I couldn't complain. I couldn't say no. Now I do.
Right.
Wake up call, same time.
Jeez.
How would I
so
not
then,
know how hard?
Steve, so this is my favorite one right here. So this is an appearance from Stephen A. Smith, and this is a reply to Joy Taylor's tweet. This right here. Listen to this shit right here.
What's going on? You're under surveillance.
I love the internet. I love the internet so much. Oh my God. Oh, I was crying when I saw that. I was crying. All right, we're going to go back and check in on the certification real quick.
Madam President, the certificate of the electoral vote of the state of New York seems to be regular in form.
All right, so they're still doing the certification. So now one of the funniest things right here, and to be fair, Colin Cowherd has not been mentioned in any of the lawsuit. Okay, so shout out to Colin. But one clip that's been going around is this clip right here with Colin having Joy Taylor on his show. Listen.
Between Tampa and Los Angeles, it's like we've got all. I mean, two cities have glommed all the championships and players. Between Tampa and Los Angeles, it's like we've got all. I mean, two cities have.
I'm dying, dude. These memes are so good. Like I have this whole sports thing. We'll break some more of that down here in a bit. But I've been crying.
3
looking at the
votes
reaction
for
of it.
president, and J.D. Vance of the state of Ohio received 3 votes for vice president.
Madam President, the certificate of the electoral vote of the state of Ohio seems to be regular in form and authentic, and it appears therefrom that Donald J. Trump of the state of Florida received 17 votes for president, and J.D. Vance of the state of Ohio received 17 votes for vice president.
Let me get this. JMNZZ says, I see a topic needs to be settled. Lioness is absolute girl boss cringe, but a bunch of hot European Latina chicks make out and bang each other, and the gunfights are half as good as Strike Back season 1 through 4, or season 1-4, which is leagues above most other shows. So I was entertained. Happy January 6th, LFG. Yeah, so I got through half of the first episode of Lioness, and I couldn't keep going. It was way too girl bossy for me. But I'm a huge fan of Taylor Sheridan, and he wrote this show, but I couldn't get past the first episode of Lioness. So will I go back to it? Potentially. But that first episode was a big turnoff.
President, and Tim Walz of the state of Minnesota received 8 votes for vice president.
Madam President, the certificate of the electoral vote of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania seems to be regular in form and authentic.
So another thing I want to show you guys really quickly, because it's relevant at the moment, is this right here. The View. Just listen to what they have to say.
I think we need to find moral clarity, in this country. And I just remember after January 6th, you had someone like Mitch McConnell placing the blame on January 6th where it belonged, squarely on Donald Trump's shoulders. Mm-hmm. And then you started seeing people backtrack that and losing their moral center. You had Condoleezza Rice, I believe, on this very show saying, we need to move on from January 6th. Mm-hmm. I say no. You don't move on, because January 6th was an atrocity. It was one of the worst moments in American history. And when you think about the worst moments in American history, like World War II, things that happened, like the Holocaust, chattel slavery, we need to never forget, because past becomes prologue if you forget any race. I want to ask you. Yeah.
Never take these cows seriously. Never, ever, ever take these weirdos seriously. This is insanity that they continue to run with this lie and this bullshit, but that's fine. This is why we've turned it into a national holiday, to meme on them, because they're so absolutely insane and ridiculous. And so it's fun. It's fun to meme on it. And the fact that Donald Trump gets certified on this day, the fact that Justin Trudeau has to resign on this day because of Donald Trump, and among other reasons. I know it's not just because of Donald Trump, but Donald Trump's pressure on Justin Trudeau has helped, escalate that situation. So yes, we're going to just turn it into a national holiday because of these freaking idiots right here. Back to the certification.
11 votes for president, and J.D. Vance of the state of Ohio received 11 votes for vice president.
Madam President, the certificate of the electoral vote of the state of Texas seems to be regular in form and authentic, and it appears therefrom that Donald J. Trump of the state of Florida received 40 votes for president, and J.D. Vance of the state of Ohio received 40 votes for vice president.
Madam President, the certificate of the electoral vote of the state of Utah seems to be regular in form and authentic, and it appears therefrom that Donald J. Trump of the state of Florida received 6 votes for president, and J.D. Vance from the state of Ohio received 6 votes for vice president.
Dougie B, what's up, Doug? Sorry, can't hear you over all the winning. Merry January
Madam President,
6th.
the certificate of the electoral vote of the state of Vermont seems to be regular in form and authentic, and it appears therefrom that Kamala D. Harris of the state of California received 3 votes for president, and Tim Walz of the state of Minnesota received 3 votes for vice president.
Trump's not even in office yet, and he's changing the world. Mega Chad. Absolutely. He's crushing it, man. He's
Madam
not even in
President,
office yet.
the certificate of the electoral vote of the Commonwealth of Virginia seems to be regular in form and authentic, and it appears therefrom that Kamala D. Harris of the state of California received 13 votes for president, and Tim Walz of the state of Minnesota received 13 votes for vice president.
Madam President, the certificate of the electoral vote of the state of Washington seems to be regular in form and authentic, and it appears therefrom that Kamala D. Harris of the state of California received.
Nandy says, when you're free, I recommend watching Jason Whitlock's breakdown of the scandal. Actually, Jason Whitlock's been getting memed too. I like Jason Whitlock, but this stuff like this is going on. Jason Whitlock, after reading the lawsuit.
I don't know what went into that process. I met the criteria to be selected, but I wasn't.
Everybody was like, Jason Whitlock's so upset that he missed out on getting some of that. Like, the memes have been absolutely glorious, man. I've never seen anything like it, man. The internet is great.
Madam President, the certificate of the electoral vote of the great state of Wisconsin seems to be regular in form and authentic, and it appears therefrom that Donald J. Trump of the state of Florida received 10 votes for president, and J.D. Vance of the state of Ohio received 10 votes for vice president.
Madam President, the certificate of the electoral vote of the state of Wyoming seems to be regular in form and authentic, and it appears therefrom that Donald J. Trump of the state of Florida received 3 votes for president, and J.D. Vance of the state of Ohio received 3 votes for vice president.
Members of Congress, the certificates having been read, the tellers will ascertain and deliver the result to the President of the Senate.
The undersigned, Deb Fisher and Amy Klobuchar, tellers on the part of the Senate, and Brian Steele and Joseph Morelle, tellers on the part of the House of Representatives, report the following as the result of the ascertainment and counting of the electoral vote for President and Vice President of the United States for the term beginning on the 20th day of January, 2025.
Real quick, so Trump, Trump is still on it right here. Many people of Canada love being, many people in Canada love being the 51st state. The United States can no longer suffer the massive trade deficit and the subsides that Canada needs to stay afloat. Justin Trudeau knew this and resigned. If Canada merged with the U.S., there would be no tariffs, taxes would go way down, and they would be totally secure from the threat of Russia and Chinese ships that are constantly surrounding them. Together, what a great nation it would be. Let's go! Let's go. Canada's going to be the 51st state. I'm telling you, Trump's not letting this go. Okay? Not letting this go. Subsidies. I know. I said it fucking wrong. I'm retarded. Okay? Subsidies. I get it. Here we go. When you're reading fast, it's what happens.
126 votes. The whole number of electors appointed to vote for Vice President of the United States is 538. Within that whole number, a majority is 270. The votes for Vice President of the United States are as follows. J.D. Vance of the state of Ohio has received 312 votes. Tim Walz of the state of Minnesota has received 226 votes.
Boo!
This announcement of the state of the vote by the President of the Senate shall be deemed a sufficient declaration of the persons elected, President and Vice President of the United States, each for a term beginning on the 20th day of January 2025, and shall be entered together with the list of the votes on the journals of the House and the Senate. Thank you very much.
She's the they're not saying Madam President to try to refer to her as she's the president. She's the president of the Senate in her position. That's why she has to certify. So no, that I see a lot of people were like complaining about that. That's not that this is standard operating procedure, everyone. It's not what you think.
Included pursuant to Senate Concurrent Resolution Number 2, the 119th Congress, the chair declares this joint session dissolved. Thank you.
She is furious right now. And if you've ever been in a position where you don't want to be somewhere, that's where she's at right now. So congratulations to President Donald J. Trump. Yeah, she ran. I feel like she, and maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. Probably I haven't paid attention to this. This feels like she rushed through this extremely quickly. Maybe I'm wrong about that. But that felt very, very quick. That felt like, let's get this over with. But I could be wrong about that. Maybe I'm wrong. Because this just happened. I mean, it happened so quickly, even I missed it. A lot of you are saying you think I'm right about that. It feels like she just rushed through that. But again, maybe I am trying to juggle and go back and forth and look up all these things that are going on. So maybe I could have missed something, but it did feel like she just rushed through that big time. Go have a drink, lady. Yes, she needs to go have a drink right now. There is, let's see, I don't know what, clip right here. Here we go. Let's replay this part right here. Here we go.
Is as follows. The whole number of the electors appointed to vote for President of the United States is 538. Within
What?
In that whole number, the majority is 270. The votes for President of the United States are as follows. Donald J. Trump of the state of Florida has received 312 votes. Kamala D. Harris
Did you hear how she tried? She tried to talk through it without letting them clap for President Trump. What a horrible person she is.
has received 312 votes. Kamala D. Harris
Oh, she hated it. She hated it. She hated the idea to have to pause and let everyone clap for President Trump. Oh, look at her.
Kamala D. Harris of the state of California has received 226 votes.
Boo. Oh. You didn't you notice how she paused when it came time to read her name? See that?
California has received 226 votes.
Had no problem pausing when it was your name. She's salty as hell.
The state of the vote.
That
for
is
President
funny.
of
So
the
one
United
more time.
States,
One more time.
Donald J. 170. The votes for President of the United States are as follows. Donald J. Trump of the state of Florida has received 312 votes. Kamala D. Harris.
You see how quickly? Oh my God, the salt is real. She went through this so fast that even I didn't catch it live. That's how mad she is. So, hey, you know what? That's fine. Be mad. All right. Be very, very mad. And listen, don't forget this. Don't forget this. This is what Twitter 1.0 deleted. This was on January 6th. Twitter 1.0 deleted this from the internet.
I know you're hurt. We had an election that was stolen from us. It was a landslide election, and everyone knows it, especially the other side. But you have to go home now. We have to have peace. We have to have law and order. We have to respect our great people in law and order. We don't want anybody hurt. It's a very tough period of time. There's never been a time like this where such a thing happened, where they could take it away from all of us, from me, from you, from our country. This was a fraudulent election, but we can't play into the hands of these people. We have to have peace. So go home. We love you. You're very special. You've seen what happens. You see the way others are treated that are so bad and so evil. I know how you feel. But go home and go home in peace.
But of course, that goes against their entire narrative that, Trump was inciting insurrection, which is a famous line from what's his face, a CNN guy. But they sit there and they constantly are pushing their narratives and they're pushing their bullshit. Jake Tapper, that's what his name was, inciting insurrection, CNN, according to them. But Donald Trump never did anything wrong on January 6th at all. He simply did what any person in his position would do, which was rallied people and brought people together. And then it was a complete setup. The whole thing was a setup. Now, if you watched my intro, and I'll play that here in just a minute, it literally was a guided tour that day. It was a guided tour is all it was. And yet here we are with all this bullshit. Now you've got The View claiming that it was it's worse than September 11th. It's worse than Pearl Harbor. It's worse than the Holocaust. Like, this is what The View is saying today. Erection Day, January 6th. Never forget. And also never forget this moment. Again, let's play it one more time. Here you go.
Majority is 270. The votes for President of the United States are as follows. Donald J. Trump of the state of Florida has received 312 votes. Kamala D. Harris.
And again, note how quickly she tried to stop them from clapping for Trump. She was really, she was practicing this right here. She moved so quickly.
Votes. Kamala D. Harris. Kamala D. Harris of the state of California has received 226 votes.
You didn't have no problem pausing after you said your name, though, right? So there you go. So it's a glorious day. It's a glorious day watching all of this play out. Not to mention Justin Trudeau has announced his resignation as the prime minister of the 51st state known as Canada. Let me get some of these super chats. I'm way behind. JRG Project says, I'm waiting for the left to pull something today. Keep your head on a swivel. It's too quiet. Too quiet. That they don't deserve any respect whatsoever. We've got Dr. Calladin says, Jeremy, you got to help Gary with certification. No one wants to watch this alone. Let's see. We've got Celebrity Jeremy says, thanks for streaming this. D-Day Cobra making politics great again. Thank you. Maximus BT says, happy J6 Patriots and Canadians. Happy J6. Andrew CR says, Donald J. Trump incites an erection on Jeremy, but the rest of us, Anna Paulina Luna, incites an erection. She uploaded a video yesterday. Great personality. Great personality indeed. Black Tron 5000 says, I was told J6 was deadlier than 9/11, the Black Plague, and the Imperial Death Star attack on Alderaan. Cellular Dream says, Jeremy, why are you gay? Let's see. Luna J. Lane says, Jeremy can't subtract high enough for mountain time. Nobody gives a shit about mountain time. Nobody cares. Aberjam says, Kamala 6'3", 215, but her IQ, but it's her IQ and body count. Jake the Movie Geek says, Trump has destroyed 5 political dynasties, the Obamas, the Bush crime family, the Clintons, Sleepy Joe, and now Trudeau. He just keeps doing it, man. Ali says, it's a good day to be American. Absolutely. Let's see. Valenstar, did I say that right? Yes, Canada, Greenland, most of Mexico, and Panama will become states. Don't underestimate President Trump. Don't do it. River Miles is looking at more like James Brown by the day, but she doesn't feel good. John Ambler says, Kamala came prepared. She wore the brown suit. Beastie Man says, next time we'll see Mike and JD together instead of seeing that hoe. Let's go. Piano Dean says, did you hear Biden awarded the Presidential Medal of Freedom to Skeletor? Yeah, it was an interesting day with him awarding that to people. Not a band account says, how can Congress certify an incoming dictatorship? I know. It's amazing how that works out, isn't it? It's amazing how they just continue to celebrate literally Hitler right before our very eyes. People are posting this thing with something to do with Jason Whitlock. Did Whitlock say something about let's see, Jason Whitlock? What happened with him? Let's see. What did he say? Okay, so right here. What did Whitlock say?
I'm capable of. I know what I'm capable of. And that big rack of hers that she showed off constantly, it's just, and that peanut butter skin with that big rack. Like, Jay, keep your distance.
What? What is Whitlock? What are you doing, Whitlock, bro? Holy shit, man. Let's see. Lord Botha says Mike Johnson looks like what you get when you fuse Michael Scott with Stephen Colbert. Jay Ritzy says Kamala is as enthused as a ball person at a barber shop. Bridge Too Far says she's just been unburdened by what has been. Glorious, isn't it? Do Guy says happy J6. Kelly R says OMG, pull the fire alarm. LOL. Gerald Armstrong says, and Gerard Mayo was fired. River Miles says Joy was in the position. All right. Grand Potato says, Madam President, what the fuck? Yeah, I explained that. Andy Plays Game says, just certified Texas for Kamala. What the fuck is happening? No, they didn't. They were announcing how many votes I think she got there. But Jared Armstrong says Amy Klobuchar, I think that's how you say her name, is hurting inside certifying Trump states. Brennan says, Jeremy, let's see, who's your pick for governor of Canada? Finally, Canadians have hope. Yeah, I mean, that Pierre guy, I can't say his name, Poilievre or whatever. He's gonna be the next prime minister, probably. Lord Botha says, AB says, I guess no one wanted to F Jamel Hill. That is true. The legendary Golden Sport says, happy 91,100 day, everyone. Diz the Jizz 47 says, speaking of which, where can I get a replica J6 podium? Trump should sell them on his website. That's what he should do. Michelle J says, if the left doesn't storm the Capitol, are they really even that invested in winning? Now, come on, just kidding. Mike Hill says, the only time Kamala will ever be referred to as Madam President. Big Papa Pump says, Big Papa says, why are they saying Madam President instead of Vice President? Yeah, she's the president of the Senate. So that's why they were saying that. Gerard Armstrong says, Democrats aren't going to object for optics. Mike Zero Sources, please have a special G&G showing celebrities melting down today. Mike Hill says, I bet she's furious Donald Trump Inauguration Day falls on the same day as Martin Luther King Day. And by the way, tonight on Locals, we will be doing a live watch party for WWE Monday Night Raw on Netflix. That's happening tonight. So make sure you are following and supporting us over there. The poll is going to end at 65 to 35. 65% says no, Canada will not become the 51st state. 35% says yes, Canada will. I'm just telling you, man, don't doubt President Trump. That's the number one thing. You cannot doubt President Trump. And I don't know what his plan is, but he's not letting this idea go. Okay. He's just not letting it go. Let me see right here. So here's what's interesting. I want to go back to that lawsuit really quick that I was talking about. So this is in the Joy Taylor lawsuit. So right here, it says, talking about it, and this is like, Mrs. Taylor again uses her sexuality to get on the show. So this is the same woman who says that women don't need men to elevate themselves. They can do it themselves, blah, 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 blah. But yet now she's featured in a lawsuit allegedly using her sexuality to get onto shows and things like that. And if you read the specific details, like right here, it says, let's see, a few months after meeting at Mr. Acho at lunch, I'll not say that, noticed him in the hallway while at work. She later asked Mrs. Taylor if Mr. Acho also worked at Fox. Ms. Taylor confirmed and explained that she wanted him to eventually recommend her for the show Speak for Yourself. She became alarmed and warned Ms. Taylor that she should not sleep with Mr. Dixon and Mr. Acho at the same time, as Mr. Dixon is a very powerful man that may become very angry. Ms. Taylor told her not to worry about it. She explained that that she was also now powerful, and once Mr. Dixon was no longer useful to her, she would follow through on her plan to tell the company that he forced himself on her. She would not allow herself to be forced out by Mr. Dixon like women talent. So she's admitting to this other person allegedly that she would accuse this executive of sexual assault when he was done, when the relationship was done. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. And of course, this is this is Acho like welcoming her in. Listen to this shit.
But truly, in the sports industry, I do not know anyone that is more impressive in every way, shape, or form than the one and only Joy Taylor, ladies and gentlemen.
And then right here, this is Joy Taylor. Women can exist in spaces with men without being with them. I know, it's a wild concept. That was back in 2022. The same Joy Taylor that was sleeping with everybody at the company apparently said this. Oh my goodness. Wait, so Joy Taylor was just letting any and everybody at Fox Sports clap them cheeks? It's so good, man. It's so good. Right here. So this is his video that he posted. And then as soon as the lawsuit dropped, the post has been deleted. Post is no longer found. What is this? I haven't seen this one.
You are not the same person you were 10 years ago. You are not the same person you were 20 years ago. I'm not the same person I was last year. If everything that we do, even though we are in the public light, is scrutinized and picked apart, and all of our actions day in and day out, it may look like we are the ones who are constantly wrong. There's lots of nuance to situations. And guess what? People change. You are not the same.
Oh, God. Just excuses after excuses after excuses. Absolutely insane. So, yeah, right here, Colin Cowherd just shows up to work, blasts his shitty football takes, and then goes home to his faithfully to his wife, a true legend. That's true. Although, again, you did have this one from Colin Cowherd, which will never get old.
Between Tampa and Los Angeles, it's like we've got all. I mean, two cities have glommed all the championships and players.
This thing is the funniest shit ever, dude. So I know a lot of you don't follow sports or whatever, but this is more about those that preach the loudest have the most to hide. You have so many of these people in sports media that are constantly like preaching and talking down to you and telling you that you're a terrible person and you're a horrible person. And they basically pretend to be the moral superiority to everything. All right. And this is the big problem I have. I don't care if people are sleeping around at work and having relationships. I do care that this woman's claiming that she's going to falsely accuse a dude that she's sleeping with of sexual assault, which is a huge problem across the board that is happening. I care about that. I don't care that people are just hooking up and doing whatever. It's not my business. I don't care. But when these people are constantly preaching and talking down to everyday Americans all the time, those that preach the loudest have the most to hide all day long. In fact, this is from ESPN right here just 2 days ago.
Legislation happening in Florida and across other states as well that are targeting our LGBTQI plus communities. Many of our colleagues here at ESPN have planned and organized a walkout that will be happening at 3 p.m. Eastern today. And to be honest with you, we thought we were going to come here today and really celebrate a sport that has meant so much and done so much, including for so many in the LGBTQI plus communities. But we understand the gravity of this legislation and also how it is affecting so many families across this country. And because of that, our allyship is going to take a front seat. And with that, we're going to pause in solidarity.
Shut the fuck up. This is why all of these people that are getting memed on right now, all of these people in sports media that are getting memed on, they deserve it. They deserve it. I have no sympathy for any of these people because they're horrible. And all they're doing is projecting. They're projecting because they have so many skeletons in the closet and they all want to sit there and lash out at the audience because they have so much to hide. It's the audience's fault. It's your fault. You have to support us. And if you don't support us, it's just nonsense. I'm just telling you, it's basic common sense. All right. Basic common sense. You never blame the audience for anything. You are the person in front of the camera. You are the person that is controlling what you're saying. And when you're constantly talking down to people and preaching from a moral superiority standpoint, you're the one that has a lot to hide. Nobody's watching TV or sports media to be preached to. Nobody. They're here to listen to you talk about what's going on in sports. That's it. Nobody gives a shit about your personal lives, your personal opinions, or anything else because you're not that fucking important. And this is the problem with so many people in the media is that they think that they are the story. No one gives a fuck about you. No one. They care about the thing that you're supposed to be paid to talk about because you as an individual are not interesting. It's the same as Hollywood actors. It's the same as all of these people. You are not important. We want you to pretend to be someone else. That's why we are interested in you, not for your own opinions, because you as a human being are not interesting. When will they ever learn this? Probably never. But I am so glad that the sports media is on full blast right now, and they're getting exposed for all of the bullshit that's going on right there. Those that preach the loudest have the most to hide. It will always be something that's true. So I'm having a lot of fun following all of that. Where are we at? Choose Violence says, I think she was trying to say her and Trump's name at the same time because she was afraid no one would clap for her solo. Potentially. Aurora Upley says, she's speaking now. Everyone interrupt with applause for Trump's victory. I am happy for everyone, even though we have a long road ahead. It's together. That's right. We do have a long road ahead. Neon Suspender says, put Kit Banga in for Canadian Prime Minister. Make them redeem. I don't even know who that is. BC Man says, let's see. Had to remove the O because YouTube sucks. Oh, yeah, you know, they always censor that crap. So, let's see. Raven Black Sparrow says, why are they calling her Madam President and not Madam Vice President? Again, she's the president of the Senate. That's why. Crazy Clown Town says, as someone who lives true mountain time, we don't recognize any other times. I respect that. Art Vandalay says, hey, Jeremy, is it possible for you to stream at this time every day? If the people want it. I mean, honestly, yes. I may have to start moving the stream up to this time every day because of all of the streams we have going on at night. Because like I said, we're moving the gaming streams from Monday to Wednesday. It may just be better for me to stream at this time, or maybe an hour or two later. Maybe it might be better for me to go live around 2 Central. That might be the best time. Maybe. I don't know. There's so much going on. Everything's going to change after January 20th anyway. So Eric K says she tried to Kamala her way to the top. Darth Gavel says Greenland, Canada, and Mexico make 53 states. Let's go. Josh 316. What's up, Josh? Mr. Scott says, I'm sorry to say, but WWE is woke as F, and I tapped out last year after decades of watching the disgusting hip-hop music they shoved down our throats to annoy the shit out of me. WWE is ghetto. I don't know if it's look, the one thing I don't like is how they named King of the Ring, King and Queen of the Ring. I think that's the gayest thing I've ever heard. But I've enjoyed some of it. Again, I haven't been as plugged in as I have as I wanted to be, but we'll see. We're going to cover it tonight, so we'll see. River Miles says, Jeremy, your peanut butter skin glows in that MAGA hoodie. Arthur becomes a new member. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. Let's see over on Locals. And again, streaming live tonight on Locals for the WWE Netflix tonight. Clownfield says the Canada 51st state thing feels like Trump's big ask, which would be downgraded to basically what O'Leary was talking about with a trade partnership plus freedom of movement thing. Happy to laugh my ass off later if I'm wrong. I mean, I think that Donald Trump would love nothing more than to add Canada as a state, whether it's the 51st state or the 52nd or whatever. He clearly wants Greenland. And I think that I personally, like, I think Trump wants Canada as a state. I think that's what he wants. Whether it actually happens, I don't know. Whether it's good for the long-term electoral process of the United States is a very valid question. But I think that Trump wants it. I absolutely think he wants it. So, and in our reality, would Canada be one state? Wouldn't it be like, how many provinces are there in Canada? Isn't there like 12 or 15 or something like that? How many provinces are in Canada? 10? There's 10? Okay. So, yeah, so, you know, so I don't know. But yeah, I mean, Kevin O'Leary was at Mar-a-Lago, I think, yesterday, meeting with President Trump. And, you know, he's been talking to Trump about this, about the economic union and things like that. So, and so I guess we'll just have to see. Oh, we already have some memes being born right here. Here we go.
Of the state of Florida has received 312 votes. Kamala D. Harris Donald J. Trump of the state of Florida has received 312 votes. Kamala D. Harris.
The memes are glorious, baby. You love to see it. You love to see it. Kamala deserves to be roasted. laughed at, mocked, and shamed. So let's see here. I'm seeing what else. There's all type of stuff going on. So right here, boom, certified. Look at Ramble Rants. Yes. Yes. That is awesome. Trump is here, and man, we're only a few days away from an amazing 4 years. Look at here. Look at that right there.
Sleeps in the jungle, the mighty jungle. The lion sleeps tonight in the jungle.
The Trump memes are out of control, man. You gotta love it, man. You gotta love it. So a lot of hype right now, a lot of excitement for President Trump to take office January 20th. Obviously, I will be live all day long on January 20th. That's going to be an all-day event, and it's going to be glorious. And I guess he's still, like, the plan is Trump is still going to do the rally the day before, which again, I wish he wouldn't, but if he does, I'll be live and I'll be covering it. So we'll see how that goes. I'm looking to see if there's any updates right now. If you've missed it earlier, this is Justin Trudeau right here.
I've also had a chance to reflect and have had long talks with my family about our future. Throughout the course of my career, any success I have personally achieved has been because of their support and with their encouragement. So last night over dinner, I told my kids about the decision that I'm sharing with you today. I intend to resign as party leader, as prime minister, after the party selects its next leader through a robust, nationwide, competitive process. Last night, I asked the president of the Liberal Party to begin that process. This country deserves a real choice in the next election, and it has become clear to me that if I'm having to fight internal battles, I cannot be the best option in that election. I've also
just the soy from this clown is just absolutely insane how pathetic he is. And remember, never forget this moment right here.
Never apologize for standing up for an LGBTQ2 plus.
Ever forget this clown. He can go away immediately. No one likes you, Trudeau. No one respects you. No one appreciates you because you are trash. And you've always been trash. And, Canada has been a disaster. Trump has essentially bullied him into this position. And I think he's sped the process up as the best way we can put it. Trump kind of sped the process up. By the way, can we just appreciate that legends never die? Okay. Legends never die. Nature boy, Ric Flair. Nature boy, Ric Flair. Ric Flair going viral after tipping a waitress $350 on a $480 bill. Nature boy.
You got a son. I'm excited.
Nature boy. Good old Nate, living the gimmick. If there's ever been a wrestler that lives the gimmick, it would be Nature Boy. And I gotta say, great personality, by the way. Okay, she's got a great personality, and we all respect her. And great personality. That's all we can say. So we'll just leave it at that. Nature Boy. If you know anything about Ric Flair is the exact same person in real life that he appears on TV, on wrestling. He's that guy. He is a party animal. He lives the gimmick. He is 100% that dude. He's a wild man. I mean, absolutely a wild man. I've listened to a lot of wrestling podcasts over the years, and every wrestler will tell you about a Ric Flair story at some hotel, and Ric Flair's usually running around the lobby naked, drunk off his ass, and he's got a room full of women. That is Ric Flair right there. He lives the gimmick, 100%. Oh, man. Let's see. SJ Nix for 50 says, still not tired of winning, and today is a day of wins. Hail the 199. Let's go. Thank you. I appreciate that. $50. Thank you. And agreed. It's a massive day of wins, and the wins are going to continue. And we're just getting started, baby. Doll Life Dan says, imagine having to personally certify the biggest L of your life. A well-deserved shame for someone that has been given way more than deserved in life. Well said. And that's kind of karma, kind of coming back full circle for Kamala, because Kamala Harris has never earned anything. She's never earned anything. She is the definition of DEI. Didn't earn it. And so it's good that that's happened. Udite says, Trudeau puts emphasis on how robust the selection process for the next party leader will be. I wonder if that phrasing is a reference to the fact that we kind of skipped that part with Kamala. You never know. You never know. Andrew Sarah says, who would have certified the election if Cackles won? That's a good question. Who would certify it? Would she certify herself still? I don't know how that process would work. Jamie says, pineapple on pizza is like going down on your cousin. It tastes the same, but something isn't right. Sweet Home Alabama. Yeah. Yeah, I guess it would be her, right? It would probably still be her. By the way, pineapple on pizza is terrible. CG87343 says, I always found it odd and strange when they say seems to be regular in form and authentic, like there's a possibility for it to be fake and inauthentic. Paul Stella says, being MAGA in Maryland stinks. We're ruled by Baltimore and the Beltway. Longclaw says, happy J6 Patriot Certification Day and 2 weeks until Inauguration Day. America is getting greater by the day. Hail Trump, hail Jeremy, MAGA. Fentanyl Floyd says, no to Canada as the 51st state. We don't need any more soft, weak liberals, which is a typical Canadian is. Yes, it's true. Ozma says, does anyone know what the actual procedure is to admit new states? Hi, Jeremy. Well, it's a long process. I think, correct me if I'm wrong, I think Canada would need to vote on it first. And then obviously the House and the Senate has to approve it here, and then the president has to do the final approval process. And then there's a lot of other hoops to jump through. But if Trump, if Canada doesn't want it, but what if Canada, I think Trump's whole thing is to use tariffs to push Canada in the direction he wants them. He is a shrewd businessman and a shrewd negotiator. So, let's see. Canadians do not want it. I don't think that, I think that you're probably going to have I think you would have 60-40 Canada saying no. 60-40 probably. Cole Howler says, I would love Canada to be the 51st state, but there are many on the right that support the socialist agenda here in Canada. 199 Yojo, praise Ara. Predon Corp says, what did I miss? I had a doctor's appointment. A lot. John Ambler says, Kamala is in a hurry to get home to her boxed wine. Stream Hero says, Jeremy for president, let's go. Never. Let's see. NDI says Justin Castro is a fig. Let's see. V6 Neon says, I think America has always considered that Britain Isles was the 51st state, but we the people of these highlands and island would greatly appropriate if that was made so given the state of UK. And then Mod Eric says, Jeremy is thinking about going down on your cousin. Well, if she's not good enough for family, it's not good enough for anyone else. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I don't know what the true process is. I mean, I know that Puerto Rico's wanted to become a state for the United States for a while, but I don't think that is that even considered a United States territory? Is Puerto Rico considered a U.S. territory? I'm not even sure if that's the case or not. And that's what the realistic thing is with Canada, is making it a United States territory. Okay, Puerto Rico is a territory. Okay, it is a territory. So, so that's the most realistic scenario, I think, for Canada right now, is to become a territory and an economic connection, essentially wiping out the border and things like that, and making the currency all the same. What is Canada? It's like Canada's dollar. What is Canada's dollar versus the U.S. dollar right now? The transfer rate is like insane for Canada. So like $1 here in the U.S., what is that in Canada? 70 cents. Okay. So an economic union would be very interesting if Canada's dollar and the United States dollar were the same. Cole Hauser says Trudeau only happened because our party in 2015 thought it was a good idea to have a 3-month campaign, and Trudeau's party went from 36 seats to 184. Unfortunately, the same people who ran that campaign are back in charge again. Let's see here. Trying to see. Okay, hang on. I'm supposed to. Somebody wants me to do something. Checking something really quickly.
Was live and he
Oh, he's gonna get memed so bad on this. He's gonna get memed so bad. When does he realize it? How long does this go on? we got a nerdrotic raid. Hell, nerdrotic. I think you realized. All right, we'll go back. Oh, the mute button. The mute button for a streamer. Always, always tough. Thank you to Jay for letting me know about that. Craig Morning says, technically, the U.S. cannot just admit a new state. The territory country must be recognized as a territory first. Then the people of that territory must apply for admittance. Then the House votes. Yeah, and I do believe, though, I think there's probably loopholes around this. Here's what I know. You remember this? Let me see if I can find this really quickly. If I can, let's see. If you remember, in the debate, You remember when Jeb Bush accused Trump of what was that? Hang on. It was like Jeb Bush was accusing Trump of something, and Trump was like, if I wanted it, I would have gotten it. If I wanted it, I would have got. I'm telling you, if I wanted it, I would have gotten it. That's Trump. If Trump wants something, he's going to get it. If he wants a property, if he wants a land, if he wants something, Trump is going to get it. And with him being in this position and 4 years left, if he really wants it, he's going to get it. That's why I'm not doubting it. I'm not doubting the idea. All I'm saying is if Donald Trump has set his mind to saying, I want Canada's 51st state, I think he's going to make it. If he's that committed to it. I don't know if he's that committed or if he's just leaning into the troll right now. Let's see. Patriotic Eagle says, we are so back. Hail the 199 Trump 2024 and beyond. Absolutely. The Bob that God made says, make Canada a bunch of American territories. They get benefits and don't have to worry about voting and messing up our freedom. LOL. That's the best scenario, probably. Not giving them any voting power. Let's see. Psychotic Mongoose for a member messages. Thank you. Cole Hausers, Jeremy, I was going to bring 2K cash to MegaCon. Would cost me 3K Canadian. So it's a no on that. Jeez, that's crazy, man. Yeah, Canada's a beautiful country, but the government absolutely sucks and the economy sucks for it. So it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to see how this all plays out. Let's see here. See if there's any more news to cover really quick. Is Beardo stream sniping me? Well, I mean, hey, welcome to a real streamer's channel, everyone. If I'm being stream sniped, this is a real streamer's channel. I don't mute my microphone on my gay intros, okay? I actually know how to stream. I'm a professional streamer. Highest quality, highest production value you're ever going to find on the internet right here. So I wouldn't worry about that over here. We know what's going on around here, okay? We've got everything. We've got everything worked out. So is this today? President Trump meets with and signs hats for his hardworking correspondence volunteers. Look at Trump. Look at Trump. That's awesome. Ready for this man to get back in office, man. This is what we need. It's going to be glorious when he takes back office. Let's see here. January 20th. John Ambler says, shout out to Beardo. Let's see. Hail to Beardo. No. Did Stephen A. Smith really accuse the Patriots of being racist for...
That's what this is about. This is about Mike Vrabel. That's who they wanted. No question about it. And he's a more seasoned, more experienced coach. I don't like this. They call it Black Friday for, Black Monday rather for a reason. This certainly typifies it. I don't know why it's not called White Monday. Doug Peterson got fired from Jacksonville. He deserved that firing. Gerard Mayer clearly was not given an opportunity, a lengthy enough opportunity, considering what Bill Belichick left him with from a talent perspective, considering the record, considering the way the team performed. He didn't help himself with some of the comments he made, calling the team soft and what have you, and having to retract statements. And we get all of that. But no matter what we can point to, at the end of the day, the folks in New England were turning against Gerard Mayo. We all know this. And I think it has something to do with the fact that Vrabel is available. And that's really what's going on here. They don't want to lose him, especially to a team like the New York Jets. They want to be in the running, and they can't do that with him as the head coach.
Absolutely.
Always racism. It's always racism, everybody. It's always racism. I mean, the man was hired. He was hired for the position, and they had a terrible season, and he was fired. It's that simple. That's simple. Race baiting and all this bullshit, it's just ridiculous. Let's see here. Ooh, God, Salty. Salty posted this. That is nightmare fuel. Salty, why would you post this? Holy crap. I am going to... That is nightmare fuel. Wow.
Disgusting. Disgusting.
Yeesh. That is rough right there. Maybe we'll keep it up. Maybe we'll keep it up. We'll leave it up until we get like I don't know, $100 super chat. We'll leave it up. So there you go. I'm not doing that. I'm kidding. I'm not. I can't grift that. I can't do that to this audience. That is way too mean. I can't do it. All right. So I won't do it. I apologize. Let's see here. It's been 4 years since the Capitol attack, and this video was the funniest one yet. It's funny. That shit is funny. I'm going to play Steven voiceover's intro one more time just because it's so great. But this right here, this is what it's all about. This is what they were so freaking out over.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the U.S. Capitol building. If you've joined us today for the Insurrection, please make sure you pick up a promotional leaflet on the way in, stay inside the safety cordons at all times, and if you get lost, speak to one of our Capitol police officers. They'll be sure to point you in the right direction. And be sure to set aside a little time today to join us for some Insurrection activities, including our photography tour, our fancy dress competition, and have a go on our climbing wall. But don't forget those safety ropes. And I've now received the results of our fancy dress competition. The winner today is Jacob Chansley. That's Mr. Jacob Chansley. If you could report to your nearest Capitol Police officer, they'll be sure to give you your prize, a guided tour of the building. And all that's left is for me to thank you for joining us today. We hope you enjoyed the Insurrection. Wherever possible, please try to clean up after yourselves. Don't forget to visit the souvenir shop on the way out, and feel free to join us on the outdoor terrace for Nancy Pelosi's Insurrection Soiree. Grab yourself a light refreshment and enjoy the music of our very own fancy dress competition winner.
And there you go. So I've got this video pulled up. This is actually Billy Bush. This is the guy that was in the Grab 'em by the Pussy video. What was that, like Access Hollywood or some shit like that? He has his interview with Tucker Carlson and 2444, the infamous Trump tape that got Billy fired. So 2444. Here we go.
There. Did you, what I find so interesting about it, everything you're saying makes sense. Of course, I've seen it a lot, but what's interesting is that nobody said anything to your face, that it was all feline, passive aggression, treachery.
Yeah. I've written I have a great chapter that I wrote, and I wrote it years ago, so I wouldn't forget any details of what exactly happened with my firing. And it was just, it's unbelievable. I was playing catch up the whole time. I found out that the Access Hollywood bus tape was in the NBC News building by Matt Lauer. Matt Lauer came to me after I got off the air at the Today Show on a Tuesday morning, and he said, "Hey, what are you going to do about the tape?" I said, "What? What do you mean, Matt?" And he said, the tape, the bus tape, you and Trump and the whole thing. I said, "What are you talking about?" I said, what do you mean? This, and I knew I remembered the tape. It's 11 years old at the time.
So back up. Just start at the beginning of this story. What was this tape? When was it shot? What is it?
It was shot in 2005. It was the end of Access Hollywood was rebuilding a studio, so we had to find a reason to get out of the studio. So we did Access Across America. It started in Miami, and it goes to whatever to Atlanta, and then it works its way back to Los Angeles, giving the studio people the workers enough time to finish a new studio. So it's just it was sponsored and the whole thing. But the last stop,
how long was
pick up Donald Trump at the Beverly Hills Hotel in Los Angeles and drive him 20 minutes to the studio, deliver him because he's going to make an appearance on Days of Our Lives. And he's going to be playing he's going to be playing a big, gaudy billionaire who gets hit on by, a young starlet.
That's the most Trump thing ever.
That's his character.
Oh.
I figure Donald should be able to pull this off. So the bus is pulling in and the cameraman, the cameraman, get off the bus. We got to go down to the end so we can catch your arrival. So the cameramen get off and they run 300 yards ahead while the bus is stopped, waiting to, to film its approach. Because the woman who he's going to be acting with is waiting, and there's a welcoming crew from Days of Our Lives. They're all waiting, and this is the arrival shot. So the cameraman gets off. He never stops recording. So we're still sitting on the bus with the microphones, and he gets off.
Stopped recording.
But it's the red light is still on, so the audio is still recording as the cameraman runs away. Can't imagine worse luck, right? But who cares? It's just Donald Trump from The Apprentice.
And you're just doing this silly little thing.
This is 2005, and we're doing this silly arrival shot. Well, the Donald at that point, while we're waiting, he gets into what he likes to talk about. And and you don't choose the agenda with Donald Trump. He talks at you, and he started by talking about my co-host Nancy O'Dell, and he, she's so hot. What happened at that? I handle that beautifully. And he keeps going.
I'm sorry. I'm just too amused.
He just starts talking and talking and talking.
This is what men do. This is what men do. We talk about women and how hot they are. This is what men do.
Well, everybody knows what he talked about. And then when we arrive to the shot, except for the end part, the most amazing thing about the whole famous line that starts with grab.
Yeah.
I just can't even say it because it's never funny to me, but
it's hilarious.
The amazing part about all that is I have no recollection. The first time I ever heard that was 2016.
Of course.
Days before they fired me, because I always remembered it for the personal connection. Him talking about taking Nancy O'Dell furniture shopping. And I thought, oh my God, that is so funny.
Wait, what?
Like he took Nancy O'Dell furniture shopping because he was trying to hook up with her. And he's like, here, I'll buy you this coffee table. I'll buy you an armoire. I was like, this is so absurd. It's so, oh my God.
Do you think it was true?
But here's the amazing thing. Oh yeah, definitely true. I got 100%. I got off the bus. And so the cameras are there. We return to filming, and I'm like, "Hey, Donald, meet the person you're acting with." And the whole thing lines up and looks like I'm feeding a wolf to this, feeding this lovely damsel to this wolf after what has just been said, but no one knows what's just been said, and I don't even recall hearing the thing.
Of course,
I didn't hear that till 11 years later. So it's just a giant shit show.
Well, but also you work in LA in the middle of Hollywood. Like you hear a lot of stuff every day. I mean,
Julia Roberts has said worse to me. I mean,
right.
Not really, but
no, right. I mean, I know the world, and you were.
I do understand what he's saying though about dude, people say shit all the time. Who cares what somebody says? I don't care. Like, who cares? And so this guy probably is just like, just you're talking shit. That's how things are. Conversations are. There's been a million things been said among me and my friend group, or just random people you meet. You're just talking shit. Who cares? It really doesn't matter. That's why I'm not like anybody that wants to sit here and pretend to be offended over something like this. Those are the people you need to worry about. There's nothing to be offended over. There's nothing wrong with people talking shit. That's why Twitter is, again, people say stuff on Twitter all day long. whatever. Twitter is like a giant video game chat. That's what it is. It's like a game lobby. It's just a game lobby with everybody. And everybody is going to say the craziest shit imaginable. They're going to talk shit. And people are going to respond. People are not going to respond. Who cares? It's what it is. That's what this chat is. You know, the chat, they're talking shit. They're having fun. Who cares? You know, it's not your, like, who cares what, like, when you can't blame the audience for anything. Like, do you know how many people come in my chat and are trying to say stuff? Well, used to. It doesn't happen that much anymore. Do you know why it doesn't happen that much anymore? Because I don't fall for it. When people are trying to start drama for internet stuff, guess what? That's part of it. You as the host can either entertain those ideas or you cannot. But if you get caught up in that bullshit, that's on you. It ain't the chat's fault, because the internet's going to try what the internet's going to do. And the internet's not wrong for that. I mean, if I was a viewer of YouTube channels, I would love to try to stir up YouTube drama with YouTube. Fuck yeah, of course I would. Who wouldn't? That'd be awesome. If I'm sitting here, I'm sitting here getting hundreds of dollars of super chats, okay? If I could come into a chat and drop $5 and start drama for no fucking reason other than it's just funny, of course, who cares? You either can lean into that shit or you can, but it's just how the internet is. And you're either built for it or you're not built for it.
We're at the center of the world. So like every day people are saying things they wouldn't want to be on camera.
Right.
Yeah.
But you also have this, we worked in this incredibly weird world where you have like 10, 15 minutes, in my case, forever, because it was a drive across town, to really talk to someone before you talk to someone.
Yes, of
right.
course.
You and I chit-chatted for 15 minutes before we turned these microphones on. Just like, hey, you doing? What's going on? Like, how was the drive?
Yeah, no, but
but I've known you for a long time. But if you didn't know me, you would have that time
always
to establish a little rapport, and you meet them where they are.
Yeah.
So, and with him, you don't have a choice. You know, it's never how's the wife and kids. There's never that. There's, you know what I did the other day? Great shot over the bunker. You can only hope it's a golf day. But then listen, here's the amazing thing is after that happened, like if you want to look at, like, I reported it. I didn't report it like he said terrible things on the bus. This is awful. I reported it ran upstairs to my boss and I go, oh my God, every time with Trump, it's something else. The animal, you wouldn't believe what he did. He tried to take Nancy O'Dell furniture shopping and so he could get laid. I was like, this is crazy. And I'm telling you, yeah, you're not going to believe this. The next day, that boss says, oh no, I heard the whole thing. What you told me yesterday. The guy was rolling. I said, he rolled on the tape? I said, well, you better do something with that tape. And the reason I said that was for nothing that I did, nothing that I was ashamed of. I don't care. The reason was in 2005, Donald Trump was the biggest star on NBC on NBC, making $100 million in profit a year for the network. Had that tape leaked out in 2005, when it happened, heads would have rolled, including mine, because you just completely tarnished our major cash cow.
But can I just ask, I mean, I've been around, microphones and cameras my whole life. And my understanding to this day is you don't tape people without their knowledge.
In the state of California, this is what's amazing. So in 11 years later, NBC News themselves leaks that tape to the Washington Post. Of that, there is no doubt. They never launched an internal investigation. You have a proprietary piece of property that could affect a presidential election, and it gets out of your building to someone else. You don't launch an investigation as to how that got out. Like you've got to find out how that got out. Well, it would have ended in 5 seconds, and it got shoved off to the Washington Post.
Well, I guess what I'm saying is it's unfair to tape people when they don't know they're being taped.
It's also illegal. In the state of California, if both people don't know, it's litigious. That's why they gave it to the Washington Post. You got the biggest story of the October surprise of all surprises. You've got it in your hands and you leak it to someone else. Why? You're a giant news division. This is so many clicks for you. This is so much traffic. Why wouldn't you own that? Well, you can't, because Donald is litigious, first of all. And second of all, there's enough reason to believe there's no camera on the bus that he didn't know he's being recorded.
But it's also wrong. You shouldn't do that. I mean, why is it different putting a camera in somebody's bedroom or the bathroom? Like,
it's wrong.
What it is wrong.
So that's what I fought all week long before I got fired.
But let's get into, because actually a more interesting story than I realized. So this happens 2005 now, almost 20 years ago. You tell your boss he's seen the tape. He has seen the bus portion of the tape when you talk to him.
He heard it that one day and told me. I never heard it. He just said, "Oh yeah, the audio was on." He told me I heard the Nancy stuff. He never mentioned anything about the word grab. Never came up.
Who was your boss?
Rob Silverstein.
Oh yes. Yes.
But here's the crazy thing.
Executive producer of the show.
Executive producer of Access Hollywood. But we'll get to how he's become the executive producer of my new show once again, how that's come full circle.
What?
Forgiveness, Tucker. It's an amazingly powerful thing. You ought to try it. You ought to try it. He's working for me. Don't think I didn't kick his teeth in. Don't think we didn't fall out for 2 years. Don't think I didn't take back the Rolex I gave him as a gift when I moved from the Pee-wees to the big leagues. When I got my big job at the Today Show, I had a party and I said, "Here you go, baby. I'm giving you a Rolex. Thanks for helping me get there." 2 months later, I said, "You son of a bitch. If I ever see you, I'm going to kill you and I'm going to give me that Rolex back."
And now he's your producer again.
Now he's my producer again, because you know what? Sometimes you have
This guy does look like George W. Bush. His name's Billy Bush. There's no relation that I'm aware of, but he does look like George W. Bush.
Blame him because he was he asked for permission. When he sent the tape to NBC News, he was asking for permission to use it.
Wait, so, okay, let's just back up here because I know the story, but others don't. So
They are related? Really? Really? I did not know that. That's wild.
And Rob Silverstein was your friend too, not just your EP. Oh. Yeah. So
spent the night together sharing a bed during the blackout in New York in like 2012 or whatever it was.
Wow.
Because we had nowhere to sweating next to this guy.
So well,
then there you go. So that adds a lot to the dynamic of him being part of the Bush crime family. So
last you hear of this tape for 11 years until you get off the air, if I'm following this correctly, and Matt Lauer comes up to you and you're not thinking about the tape. No one ever mentioned the tape again. The tape is just like
the day before that Monday. Rob Silverstein called me in New York and he just said, "Hey, NBC's asking. Remember the tape with Trump and the whole thing? They may want to look at they're asking for a transcript. I may send it to him because Trump said some crazy things. You don't worry about you. You don't do anything on it. You don't even say a thing." I say, "Okay, whatever. It doesn't mean anything." Then the next day,
Brimstone says, "I'm a madman. I'm flying down to Florida for 1 day for the Geeks and Gamers meetup, then flying home at 6 a.m. on Sunday." Hell yes. Hey, as a matter of fact, if mods, if you want to drop that RSVP link, I will pin it right now. And also Raw on Netflix tonight. All right. Live on Locals. We're watching that live on Locals. So please make sure that you are if you're wanting to follow, and it will be a legitimate live reaction. Like, we're watching it with the audience. So it will be for supporters only. So there's the RSVP right there. Thank you, Can Man. So if you are interested in the Orlando meetup, please RSVP right there. Grapthar Sammer says, already RSVP'd. I'm a true IDOT. That's what's up right there. So looking forward to it. And then the Locals link is down there as well.
He says, "I'll call you if anything happens." Well, I never got a call from him. The next thing I hear about it is it's in Lack's hands. Andy Lack, the chairman of NBC News, has it. And Kim, whatever her name is, the legal counsel, the lawyer, she's on it. And Lauer says, you should probably go see Andy Lack, before this thing, they have it. And I was like, oh my God. Okay. So I left the studio, went across up to Andy Lack's office, and Noah was there. And I said, "Hey, Noah, what's going on?" And he said, "Yes, we got this tape." I said, "Listen, I don't know what tape. I know about the tape. But I've never heard it. So he played it for me. And I will never forget sitting in Noah Oppenheim's office, the president, the general manager of the Today Show, as he played the part. And when it got to the grab line, Noah laughed. I remember he was in the room. He laughed. Oh, and I guess I got fired for laughing, but there he is laughing, because when you hear something that absurd, what do?
You laugh.
Mostly laugh. It's like a nervous laugh. It's I've never heard anyone say what he said. I was like, this can't be real, obviously, so I'm going to laugh. But I don't recall it. So it's just the first time I ever heard it was that day. And I went, oh dear. And then I watched the tape and I saw the arrival and the greeting. And I said, oh my God, the optics of this are just horrible. I'm the first to admit this looks.
You're weak. You're weak. Men that, look at that face right there. Oh man. That's a good thumbnail picture right there. So
terrible. And what happened in the ensuing days was, hey, what do you want to do about this, Billy? And I said,
what do you want to do?
I said, what do I? And it's crazy. Yeah, this is from Andy Lack, the chairman of NBC News, who was the only person in the world I'd hit with a tire iron if he was sitting right here.
Yeah.
And Noah, I wouldn't. I've forgiven Noah. Andy, tire iron. Truth. But in the ensuing days, it was all, what do you want to do? We could do something with this. These things, I remember this quote, these things have a way of getting out. That's what Noah said to me. And I'm like, no, they don't. You can't. Listen, what if I become the guy whose preamble before interviews gets used, that whoever that public figure is never going to talk to me. I'm going to be the guy that no one wants to talk to, because don't talk to Billy Bush before the interview. The cameras are rolling because he's probably secretly rolling. It's journalism 101. And no one came to my defense on it, of course, because it was such a hot time. Everybody was just, their heads were in the sand. But
of course, no one came to your defense. You wouldn't come to anybody's defense either. You're sitting here pretending to be offended over this shit all these years later. You're not offended. You weren't offended when he said it. You're not offended now. And the reason you weren't offended is because it was normal things that were discussed in private. To this day, these are things that are discussed in private. You were not offended because there's nothing offensive about it. That's the bottom line.
That whole week was, what do you want to do? And I said, you can't use this. It's illegal to do that to him, to anyone. I wasn't defending Trump. I'm defending my reputation as a journalist and someone who wants to interview other people in the future.
And just basic fairness.
Yeah.
And also, by the way, you were paid to interview Trump and to do this set piece with him, the scene with him. That was your job. Like, you didn't. It's not like you and Trump were like in a bar or something. It was like this. You were working for the same company.
It was a primary job for me then. Remember, The Apprentice was the biggest thing on TV. And Trump, every other celebrity had a publicist that followed them around and said, you can't say this, you can't do that, you can't use this. They'd try to shape your message. Trump's publicist literally just carried like a bag for him, because Trump is going to do what Trump's going to want to do. He doesn't care. So he was a soundbite machine. I was with him 3 days a week. And when I wasn't with him, my boss would say, how do you get the next thing with Trump? We need him every day if we can have him. Because he's saying things like, remember the horrible stuff he said about Rosie? But every entertainment show couldn't wait to run that as a headline.
Of course.
Right? No one does this.
Amazing.
Except Trump. He's gold for ratings.
Oh, he's unbelievable. In fact, he's helped.
So I was constantly tasked with get on his plane, get into his apartment, go on a house tour with him. One of the great things I did with Donald Trump, still available online. Check it out. We went voting together in 2004, Bush Kerry. And we went voting together, and we went to 4 different polling places, and he wasn't registered at any of them. It was hysterical, and he kept getting furious. So I just did all these things. And
did you have fun?
It was part of my job. Like, I got promoted. I ultimately became the host of the show because of the amazing things I did with Donald Trump. I dressed up in disguise and snuck into the season 2 auditions of The Apprentice. And I auditioned as a mustache, and I had a cowboy hat on. I called myself Richard Broom, and I made my way over to a table, and Donald was sitting at the table, and I sat down with 8 other strangers. And as he asked questions of everybody, to see if they'd be a part of the cast.
No way.
And he looks at me and he goes, "You're a weird-looking fella." You take off your hat. I took it off, and he goes, "If I don't know that's Billy Bush, I don't know." We had a huge laugh. I mean, let me tell you something. Donald Trump was the greatest reality television host ever. Ever. He was, especially for our show and for that. That show began as something else, and it turned out, you know what? Why don't we, instead of doing 15 minutes of the boardroom at the end, let's do 15 minutes of stupid lemonade sales and then 55 minutes or 45 minutes of the boardroom at the end, because that's what people really want to see.
Because of the drama.
The drama. Trump going, "Look, Brandy, I can't believe it. You look like, can you believe what Sarah said about you? It's terrible. She shouldn't say that about you. Sarah, you look like a nice person. Why would you do that to Brandy?" And he'd just pit these fights, right? And
He's the most dominant personality I've ever seen. There's not a more dominant personality. He is the alpha in any situation, man. He just is.
and people loved it. Yeah.
Amazing.
Amazing.
It was 5 years ago this month that people started to drop dead in the central Chinese city of.
All right, so that's Tucker Carlson. You can go watch the entirety of his video over on Twitter if you're interested, right there. But that's good stuff right there. So that was interesting. So hail to Tucker Carlson. That's awesome stuff right there. NDI says, who are some good follows on X? All the G&G people. Just go through my following list and you'll see all the good people to follow right there. But like Colin Rugg is a really good one for information and stuff like that. Let's see. Eric K. Secret Racism says CUM, Canada, US, Mexico. Sloppy Joe says 350 plus hate messages on X. That's a lot. Darth Gavel says the January 6th prisoners will be freed. Let's see. USA, I think. Use. Chikara for a $200 SEK. We are very happy that you got Trump back. Just realize that the U.S. values and culture are far away from many other countries, and we do not want to live like you do. Focus on you. Canada and the rest of us are fine. Well, I appreciate that. And but I don't think that you guys are fine. And that's the whole point is, Trump told Trudeau that we're going to tariff the hell out of you. Trudeau straight up told Trump Canada can't survive under those tariffs. Trump responded and said, if Canada can't survive as a country without ripping off the United States of America, then maybe you shouldn't be a country. That's the whole premise behind this. If Canada was fine without the U.S., then this discussion would be happening and Trump wouldn't have the negotiation power that he has. So I don't think that's accurate at all. And so while I appreciate your perspective, the reality of the situation is Donald Trump can't just go and take over a country because he wants to. That's not realistic. But Donald Trump can take over a country that can't survive on its own if it's ripping off the United States of America. So that's the whole premise of this entire situation, is that Canada is not okay. Because if they were okay, they wouldn't be in this position to begin with. So we'll see what happens. But the step one is getting rid of Trudeau, and that is happening. This Pierre guy seems like a great guy. Seems like a guy that can definitely lead Canada in a new direction. So we'll see. Yoro Zuya says, just sent you a DM from Jason Goldstriker. It's a notification I got about the certification that I think you should check out. Thanks. All right, noted. I will check that out. Wayne Rama says, drama for no particular reason. We all love some internet drama, don't we? Piano Dean says, all Trump was saying on that bus was that when you're rich and famous, women will throw themselves at you. He wasn't admitting he ever grabbed anyone. No, everybody with common sense knows that. Everybody. Rabbit says, I think dropping $5 to derail a stream is horrible. Fart Shark Depart says, will normie gaming YouTubers ever be less aggro to our sphere? I saw Remy Down Under Gaming going after Pirate Nation, and I wonder why they pay no mind to overt wokeness, but act like talking about it is assault on them. Frustrating. I mean, ultimately, the same thing needs to apply to the normie gaming YouTube sphere as that has applied to the normie movie sphere. 10 years ago, the Colliders and the Schmoes Know and the Chris Stuckmans dominated the online movie discussion. Now, Critical Drinker and Gary and others dominate that. So really, like, I feel like I definitely want to play a part in that in terms of covering more gaming on Geeks and Gamers, and covering it to a level that I think can start to drown out a lot of these shills that just have put their heads in the sand and just act like there's no problem in gaming. It's absolutely ridiculous. So that's what it comes down to. Corja says Beardo grabbed me by the banana. Is it Sakuri says Jeremy Griggs forced to certify Ryan Kennel as leading Giga Chad at Geeks and Gamers. Craig Morning says, can we send Jeremy down the rabbit hole that is the entire media and government families and how they're all related? Rise up, conspiracy nerds. Darth Gavel says, breaking FBI asked social media to stop solving crimes before they do. LOL. Sounds about right. And then Cellular Dream dropping the rock gift over there. Oh, the holy shit. That is terrifying. Holy crap. Locals is going to be wild tonight. So again, if you're interested, you can go over to Locals. You can support us over there, and we will have a live watch party of the Netflix Raw tonight. It's going to be awesome. I can't wait. I know Beardo's going to be there. I'm going to be there. Epic Mike's going to be there. Drunk 3PO will be there. And who else? Who else shows up? You never know. So it's going to be a wild one tonight. Make sure you RSVP for our Orlando meetup as well. And of course, if you have not, you should be going over to Criticless and creating an account over here on Criticless. That is, I think that if you're tired of like a lot of social media sites, this is a movie-centric site, but we're hoping to evolve it into more of the entertainment sphere. But you can also create your own little community in there. Like we have a Geeks and Gamers discussion group right here that someone created. You can create your own discussion group if you want and post images and stuff like that. It's free. There's an app, so you can go download the Criticless app on Android or Apple. The app works fantastic. The notifications work great. And the more support that we get over there, the more we're going to be able to evolve that site. So I hope you guys will check us out over there. And looking forward to it. Let's see. Forbes headline, GOP applause interrupts Kamala Harris after she calls 2024 electoral vote for Trump. Still not tired of winning yet. Yeah, I saw that one. Okay. So let's see. Where are we at? Make sure we're there. Okay. All right. So we're going to wrap this stream up. It's been a great one. Again, after January 20th, I'm not sure what time these streams are going to be. I'm going to be focusing on more content-driven stuff for this channel and for the Geeks and Gamers channel. So we're definitely going to be content-heavy, and I'm looking forward to that. Keenan in the house. What's up, Keenan? What's up, Kira? Let's see. Nick, Russ, Eddie M. So tonight, watch party, WWF, WWE, Monday Night Raw, Netflix. It's going to be one of the biggest shows in a long time. If you're into wrestling, if you're not, I totally understand. But I think it's going to be a huge episode, and it's going to be awesome, and I cannot wait. Happy January 6th to all of the Patriots out there. We are only a few weeks away from the inauguration of President Donald Trump as the 47th president of the United States of America. We were certified today. Kamala Harris, heels up Harris, had to certify President Trump, and it was glorious to watch. So other than that, you guys have a great day, and I'll leave you with Sabaton to close us out. Bye, everyone.
Time to rule at last. 15 years held up
are at the end of the stream. Although, hang on, I'm trying to look up something. Boom, boom, boom. Trying to see. Why is it not showing up? I wanted to send you guys over to Park Hopping because I know Park Hopping just went live. But I don't see nothing's working right now for some reason, and I don't know why. Why is it not working? It should show up. Let me just type it in and see if I can find it. Okay. Park Hopping is our theme park channel for those that are not aware. Yeah, for some reason it will not let me raid right now. I don't know why. What's going on? Oh, I think I don't have that set on that channel. So anyways, you guys go over there to Park Hopping. Go check them out. I'm sure they're going to drop links to Park Hopping, Krista, Jay, and I think they're going to have some special guests over there. So go show them some love over there. And again, don't forget tonight on Locals, Monday Night Raw, Netflix. It's going to be a huge show. There's a ton of people that have made announcements that they're going to make appearances. So it's going to be a great, great show. You have to be a subscriber, a direct supporter on Locals to have access to it. But this is something we're going to do every single Monday. If people like it, every Monday we do a live watch party for WWE and Monday Night Raw. And then the gaming stream that normally happens on Monday will be moving to Wednesday. So Wednesday gaming happens this week. And I may have a special guest for you this week. Time will tell. Okay. Time will tell if I'm able to pull that off. But thank you guys. Have a good evening, and we'll talk to all of you later. Bye, everyone.